Hi, I wanted to share about my recent decision to become vegan and the three reasons that prompted me to make that choice. I've been having a very easy time with it, and it's been about almost 5 days now. And I thought I'd be sacrificing a lot, but I actually feel better mentally and physically, and it's been a pretty easy transition. I think it's a change I was ready to make. The three reasons are, first of all, empathy for animals. I feel that having a strong relationship with my cat really had a strong influence in this choice. She and I have a very close connection, and there were times in recent weeks where she'd come up and sit on my lap and we'd cuddle, and I just would reflect upon how is she different from other animals. And I think that when animals are domesticated, they take on a certain kind of characteristic, but I thought, there's really a mental separation that we create in our mind, but there aren't any really true differences between a cat and animals that we eat. And I started to feel like, I could look at my cat as 6 to 8 portions of protein, but she is really so much more than that. She has so much life force and such a character. And I really feel there's an aliveness there that if I can avoid eating an animal, it's a good karmic choice. Basically, that it's a choice that is moving me towards the love of all life as opposed to the consumption for my personal immediate gratification that doesn't really last that long. So, feeling a connection with animals, I mean, for a long time I have felt really uncomfortable with zoos, for example, that it just feels sad to me to lock up animals. I know that a lot of people make arguments for it in terms of the education that occur and stuff, but I'd rather, be educated by seeing animals photographed in the wildlife as opposed to seeing them up close in depressing quarters. So I think that this decision to stop eating animals has been coming for a while. There have been other times in my past where I was vegan or vegetarian for various reasons, but I've been an omnivore for a while, and I think suppressing inner conflict that I had because of my appreciation and respect for animals. The second reason I made this choice was because I wanted to be healthier, and I saw a good documentary called Forks Over Knives, which I recommend. It's currently on Netflix, watch instantly. And it really made some strong cases for the correlation between eating meat and dairy and developing heart disease, cancer, or other serious diseases. And I just felt like, I really like to be alive. I would like to be alive indefinitely, and we are kind of taught that disease just happens to us and that we're supposed to expect it sooner or later, dying of one or the other of these kinds of serious conditions. But it's rather empowering to realize that there is a strong correlation between what people eat and how healthy they are. And animal fats that occur both in dairy and in meat accumulate in our circulatory system and create problems. And they are also more likely to trigger cancer. It's pretty clear that there's a connection there, and I don't want to go on believing that I am just randomly going to manifest some illness. There was a long time where, as part of my spiritual path, I would focus on the mind and thoughts and power of beliefs, and I wanted to focus on that almost exclusively. And I think that I quelled some of my discomfort with eating animals by switching over to organic, humanely raised animals last year. But it still doesn't affect the health component. That it's just very, very strongly correlated, and so why make yourself sick if you don't have to? The third reason that I gave up meat and dairy is because there's a negative impact on climate. I think that climate change is the most important issue of our time, and so to ignore that it takes a lot more resources to make meat than it does to make plants is to ignore the impact that we are unnecessarily having on the planet. And I've also heard that flatulence from cattle has a more negative impact in terms of increasing greenhouse gases than all of the transportation combined in the U.S. So within the United States, cattle are having a more negative impact on greenhouse gases that increase the temperature of the planet than cars and trucks and so forth. It's really quite amazing, but there's a huge demand for their consumption, so we have a lot of them. Also, rainforests are being cleared to create more space for cattle to be raised for a profit motive there, and the less trees we have, the more the planet suffers there as well. So these are reasons that I've decided to make this choice. I know it's a personal thing for everyone, but hopefully some of these ideas may resonate with you as well. Thanks for listening.